In this lesson, we're going to take a look at our next example in our lesson on angles and triangles. So it says here, for the diagram shown below, we have a picture that has a triangle with an extra line up the side. We've got one angle that has a number and the others have letters. It says determine the value of x and y in the diagram. So taking a look at our picture, I do notice when I look at it, the thing that jumps out to me the most is that there is a triangle here. I also notice there's a 90-degree angle over here on this side. So I notice that this angle is marked with X. These angles are marked with Y's. So I'm going to be doing separate calculations to find X and to find Y. So I think it might be easier if we start with this part. So looking at this, I notice there's a square in the corner. This is our angle theorem CAT, or the complementary angle theorem. So we talked earlier about how complementary angles add to 90 degrees. That's what that little square means. So 5x and 35 are going to add to 90 degrees. So 5x plus 35 equals 90. Now to solve for x, I am going to start by subtracting 35 from the other side. So 90 take away 35. Take away 35 is 55 degrees. So 5x equals 55 degrees. And then we are going to undo our multiply by 5 by dividing the other side by 5. So we're going to have 55 divided by 5, which is, I believe, 11. Yes, it is. So x equals 11. So our answer here is that x is 11 degrees. Now, I can't mark that this angle is 11 degrees because this angle is not just x, it is 5x. So we will come back to this in part B where it asks us to go back and calculate each of the angles in our diagram. Okay, now that I've done that part, I'm going to focus on the triangle. So using my triangle theorems that we learned earlier, I notice that we don't have exterior angles. I don't have any tick marks that would show that this is isosceles or equilateral. So the only triangle theorem that we can work with is our SATT, or the sum of the angles in a triangle theorem, that says that the three interior angles should add to 180 degrees. That means that y take away 8, 6 times y plus 1, and 35, if we add them all together, should equal 180 degrees. Now, this one has a bracket, so I have a choice. I could add these all together and then work out the bracket, or I could do the bracket first. I can multiply 6 into that bracket to make this a little easier to work with. 6 times y would give me 6y, and 6 times 1 gives me 6. So I can just use 6y plus 6 instead, and that might make it a little easier when we're solving our equation. So we are using SATT, or the sum of the angles in a triangle theorem, and it says that these three angles added together equal 180 degrees. So y take away 8 plus 6y plus 6 plus 35, so all three of those angles should equal 180 degrees. My next step would be to collect up like terms. I have a y and a plus 6y. This y counts as 1y. So 1 plus 6 is 7 y's. And then I notice that we have a minus 8 plus 6 and plus 35. So on my calculator, I think it'll be a little faster to do it. I'm going to do minus 8, so we're going to make that negative, and then plus 6, and then plus 35, and I get 33. It's positive, so I'm going to put plus 33. And then that equals 180. All right, from here we are just solving. I'm going to subtract 33 to undo that. So I'm going to do 180, take away 33. That gives me 147 degrees. So 7y equals 147 degrees. And then I am going to solve for just y by dividing by 7. (147) divided by 7 is 21. So y is 21 degrees. Now, that's not each of the angles in my diagram, but it does tell me what the letter y works out to equal. Okay, so now that I know what x and y are, there is a part B to this question. It says calculate the value of each of the missing angles. So you'll notice in our picture, I have 5x, that's the one over here with the right angle. We have y minus 8 and 6 bracket y plus 1. And those three angles are listed down here on the side. So now that I know what x and y equal, I want to calculate what each of those angles equals. So I'm going to start with 5x. We know when we solved, we got that x was 11. So I'm going to do 5 times 11. And 5 times 11 is 55. So this equals 55 degrees. So 5x is actually 55 degrees. All right, y take away 8. Y worked out to be 21 degrees. 21 take away 8 is 13 degrees. So y take away 8 is 13 degrees. And then last but not least, we have 6 bracket y plus 1. Now we could multiply the 6 in first. I think I'm just going to put the value of y in first. It is 21 and then plus 1. Order of operations says we do brackets first. So I'm going to add 21 and 1 to get 22. And then 6 times 22 is 132 degrees. So 6 times y plus 1 is actually 132 degrees. All right, from here you are going to go and work on the practice questions. Have a great rest of your day.